What's up, everybody? I'm Steven, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing my predictions for the upcoming NXT Takeover pay-per-view, NXT Takeover Portland, which is coming to us for, I believe this is the first time they've ever done a takeover event on a Sunday, so it's coming to us live this Sunday on the WWE Network, and there are about 6 matches as of right now. I'm recording this on a Friday. They could add one more match, which I'll talk about on here as well as a bonus, but as of right now, as it stands, the card has 6 matches on it. There's going to be some really good matches, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to a lot of these, but I'm just going to get right into it. So starting off, we have a street fight between Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. Now, this is a rivalry I didn't really get into that much. I know Dakota Kai cost Tegan Nox in the War Games match last November. And they were best friends, and now they're like bitter enemies, just like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano were. But I'm going to say Dakota Kai wins this because I think Tegan Nox already has a victory over her. So this would be like a way to, if they wanted to continue that feud, you have Dakota Kai win, especially with the, no disqualifications rules of a street fight. I think she'll win, and then they can have like because I know they've already had one match that ended in a no contest, or it never got started or something. I'm not sure exactly, but if they do end up having a third match, then that would be like their tiebreaker match, sort of. So for this match, I'm going with Dakota Kai as the winner. Like I said, that's not really one of the matches I care about at this pay-per-view, but it'll probably be a good one either way, I guess, because those two are going to try and tear each other apart. I could see them going through the crowd and everything too, probably, but NXT TakeOver pay-per-views, every match that's on it is usually good, so that's not one of the ones I was really like, I'm not going to get into that one as much, but next up is the Undisputed Era, which is for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly versus the Broserweights, which is Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. I'm actually going to say that the Broserweights are going to win this match. I think Undisputed Era have had the tag team titles long enough, and really they have no other really credible tag teams, I guess, in NXT at the moment, other than like NXT UK. Unless they're planning on having Imperium come in from NXT UK and beating them for the titles. I think Riddle and Dunne, because they won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, that's what made them a tag team. If you watched that whole tournament over the series of several weeks on NXT TV. So because they won that, I think they're probably going to win the tag team titles, because Undisputed Era, like I said, have had them for a while. I know the last winners of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic were Aleister Black and Ricochet from last year, and they didn't end up winning, but they ended up going up to the main roster. But in this case, I think, because I'm kind of tired of seeing the Undisputed Era as the tag team champions, I want to see them lose it. So I'm going with Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle for this match. The next match on the card is Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Now, for me personally, I think this is going to be the match of the night, because that's like a dream match right there, Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano, and I'm glad that I know Gargano had a legitimate injury, I guess, after Balor attacked him, so that's why he was kind of written off TV for a while, but I'm glad it also worked into them holding off on this match until we get to here, and I'm thinking in this match, I think Finn Balor is going to win, because I don't think he's really won. He won that match at Worlds Collide against someone from NXT UK, but I don't really know. I don't watch NXT UK, so I don't know a lot of the stars in that, but other than that, I don't think Finn has really won. Like, he was #1 contender and fought Adam Cole for the World Championship, but he lost. So I think this would be a big win for him, but I also think he'll win either by some kind of interference from someone outside, or he'll cheat in some way to win, which would make him a, like a credible heel character. And then they can fight each other again at the over WrestleMania weekend on whatever that NXT Takeover Tampa. Because I'm pretty sure they're probably still going to have an NXT Takeover before then. And then that's where Johnny Gargano could win, or whatever they're planning on doing there. Or I'd personally like to see these two fight over a championship someday, like either the NXT World Championship or the North American title. But right now, with what we have, I think this is going to be the match of the night, and I think that Finn Balor is going to win. Next up for the NXT North American Championship, another good match will be Keith Lee versus Dominik Dijakovic. We've seen this match about 4 times, I think, and it actually never gets old. These are two of the biggest guys on the roster, two of the strongest, toughest guys on the roster. They fought each other 3 times all across NXT TV, and I'm pretty sure Keith Lee has won all 3 of their meetings. I don't remember if Dijakovic beat him, but that was before Keith Lee had the North American title. That was back last year over the course of several weeks. But now they're fighting for the North American title. So I think that since the stakes are higher, it's going to be a much bigger match, and I think they're going to pull out a lot more from each other that we've never seen before, a lot of different moves and things. And I'm going to say that Keith Lee will win this match. Just because I think he already won his championship. He just recently won it. I don't think he's going to lose it yet. I think they're saving him up for Velveteen Dream over WrestleMania weekend, because Dream he had his title. He was injured and lost the championship, I think, because of his injury from the Undisputed Era. So when he's done getting his revenge on Roderick Strong, I think Velveteen Dream will challenge Keith Lee for the title at NXT TakeOver Tampa, which probably would be a really good match as well, and he could win his title back there or whatever. And then you have, I don't know if they're ready to call Keith Lee up to the main roster yet, but I like him in NXT. He's really good now, so he's one of my favorite stars, and he has a great theme song and everything else. So, but as of right now, I think that Keith Lee is going to retain his championship. The next match I'm going to talk about is for the NXT Women's Championship. It's Rhea Ripley defending against Bianca Belair. I think everybody knows Rhea Ripley is probably retaining the championship in this match, because they've been building her up to be the one who faces Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. So I think Rhea Ripley is retaining here, and then after the match, I think that Charlotte Flair will attack Rhea Ripley and then say, "I accept your challenge for WrestleMania." So remember, Flair won the Royal Rumble this year, the Women's Royal Rumble. And rather than going for the main roster titles, I kind of like this idea of having her go for the NXT Championship, because one, it makes NXT seem like a bigger deal, because now there's an NXT Women's Championship match at WrestleMania that's huge for NXT, and it makes Rhea Ripley seem like a big star as well. And then you also are keeping Charlotte Flair away from the titles she's already won and the superstars she's already fought. I know she has held the NXT Women's Championship before, back several years ago before she came up to the main roster, but I mean, lately we've been seeing her versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title. We've seen her hold the SmackDown Women's title against Bayley, all within these last few years. So it's nice to see a change of that, having Charlotte fighting for the NXT Women's Championship. And the fact that Rhea Ripley kind of wants Charlotte to challenge her makes the story even more interesting. So, but I'm saying Rhea Ripley retains against Bianca Belair this Sunday at NXT TakeOver to build up for the WrestleMania match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. And finally, to end the match for the NXT Heavyweight Championship, it's Adam Cole defending against Tommaso Ciampa. I'm going with Ciampa here. Like I said earlier, I'm kind of tired of seeing Undisputed Era holding these titles. I think it's time for them to lose them. I don't think it's time for them to go up to the main roster just yet, but I mean, what else are they going to do if they lose their titles? So they probably will, after WrestleMania, Adam Cole and then will bounce up to the main roster, which gives the newer crop of superstars a chance at the title. I'm saying Ciampa's going to win this to get his title back. Maybe has a rematch with Adam Cole at NXT TakeOver Tampa, and then retains there. Something like that. Or they put somebody else in a match with Ciampa to kind of cement that he's the champion now and he's going to hold it for a while. Hopefully no more injuries for Ciampa to take away his title, you know, because he's really good in the ring. He's had some good matches with Johnny Gargano. I kind of want to see him versus Gargano again at TakeOver Tampa. That way we can kind of finally see the culmination of their rivalry the way we should have seen it, because they were supposed to have another match last year for the title, and then unfortunately Ciampa got injured and was forced to give up his title, and then they had Gargano versus Adam Cole instead. And yeah, Gargano won the title, but I'd like to see him finally get to finish up the story that they were telling. But for this pay-per-view in particular on Sunday, NXT TakeOver Portland, I'm saying Tommaso Ciampa becomes the new NXT World Champion. Now, as a bonus match, I don't know if they didn't announce this Wednesday on NXT. I don't know if they're going to do it at this one or if they're saving this for over Tampa weekend, over WrestleMania weekend. But I'm adding into my predictions as well. If they do this match, Velveteen Dream versus Roderick Strong, because they kind of built it up on NXT these past 2 weeks. They had Velveteen Dream came back and attacked everyone in the Undisputed Era, and then he was playing mind games with Roderick Strong this past Wednesday. But I think Velveteen Dream is gonna win and get his revenge against Roderick Strong. If not this Sunday, at their next TakeOver event, or on some Wednesday or whatever. But if they do that this week or this weekend, they do that match as well, I'm saying Velveteen Dream to win. So there you go, guys. Those were my predictions for NXT TakeOver Portland. Let me know down in the comments section what you guys are thinking is going to happen this weekend. Like I said, I'm looking forward to a lot of these matches, especially Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Fingers crossed that's a really good match. Or if it's not, they could build it up to be a bigger match over WrestleMania weekend. But either way, I think NXT has always been really good at putting together pay-per-views, and this is looking like it's going to be another really good one. So let me know what you guys think, and who you think is going to, if anybody does interfere in any of these matches, who do you think is going to interfere and why? And what is your favorite match that's coming up this weekend at that pay-per-view? That's it, everybody. Take care.